Welcome to Deep Sleep Under the Stars. Take a slow breath in and gently let it go. Let the day begin to loosen around you. Let the weight of ordinary thoughts become softer. Let the noise of the world move farther away. There is nothing here that you need to solve. Nothing. You need to remember nothing. You need to hold tightly in your mind. Tonight, we are simply going to rest under a quiet sky. If your eyes are open, let them rest softly. If your eyes are closed, let the darkness behind them become a calm night of its own. You do not need to follow every word. You do not need to stay awake for the entire journey. The purpose of this story is not to keep you alert. The purpose is to help your mind slow down, to let the voice become gentle, to let the stars become distant and safe, to let the night become a place where your body can finally rest. Notice your breathing. Do not force it. Simply notice it. A slow breath in, a soft breath out. Again, in and out. The air comes and goes without effort. The body remembers how to rest. The night remembers how to be quiet, and the sky remembers how to wait. Let your shoulders fall a little. Let your jaw soften. Let the space between your eyebrows become smooth. Let your arms become heavy. Let your legs become heavy. Let your whole body settle into the surface beneath you. You are not falling. You are being held. You are not drifting away from safety. You are drifting toward peace. Tonight, the moon is almost gone from the evening sky. It is a thin, fading crescent, moving toward the quiet darkness of a new moon. The sky is becoming darker. The stars are becoming easier to imagine. And in the deep hours of the night, when the world is still, the bright heart of the Milky Way can begin to rise into view. From many dark places on Earth, this is why tonight feels special. Not loud, not dramatic, just quietly open, a dark sky, a soft horizon, a silent place where the galaxy can reveal itself. Tonight, we will travel first to the dry silence of the Atacama Desert in Chile, a place where the air is thin, the land is ancient, and the stars seem close enough to breathe. Then we will move gently to Wadi Rum in Jordan, a desert of red stone, quiet sand, and wide night. We will look up toward Scorpius and Sagittarius, constellations that rest near the bright center of our galaxy. And then, without needing a telescope, without needing effort, we will think about the Milky Way itself, a river of stars, a path of light, a home so large that every worry becomes small beneath it. But you do not need to study any of this. You do not need to learn the sky tonight. You do not need to name every star. Just let the names pass over you. Atacama, Wadi Rum, Scorpius, Sagittarius, the Milky Way. Let them become soft sounds. Let them become part of the night. If you fall asleep before the journey ends, that is exactly right. The video can continue. The stars can continue. The voice can continue softly in the background. And you can rest. Take another slow breath in. Hold it gently for a moment, and let it go. The room around you is quiet. The night outside is wide, and somewhere on Earth, under a dark sky, the galaxy is beginning to shine. Let us begin. We travel now across the world, softly, quietly, without hurry. We move over oceans, over cities, over sleeping houses and silent roads. We travel south and west, toward a land where the earth is dry, high, and open, the Atacama Desert in northern Chile, a place that feels almost outside of time, a place where the land is quiet enough for the sky to feel enormous. Imagine yourself standing there now. The ground beneath you is pale and dry. The air is cool after sunset. The last warmth of the day has faded from the stones. The desert stretches away in every direction. Sand, salt, rock, ancient dust, low mountains in the distance. And above it all, a sky that seems to have no ceiling. There are no trees to block the horizon, no tall buildings, no glowing streets, only the land and the sky, facing each other in silence. Take a slow breath here. The air feels different. It is clear. It is thin. It carries very little moisture. The dryness of the desert makes the night feel sharper, but not harsh. It is a clean kind of sharpness, like the edge of a crystal, like cold water held in a dark glass. The Atacama is known for its extraordinary skies. The high elevation, the dry air, and the distance from heavy city lights all help the stars shine with unusual clarity. This is why some of the world's great observatories stand in this region. But tonight, we are not here to work. We are not here to measure. We are not here to analyze. We are here to rest. The telescopes may continue their silent watch on distant galaxies and newborn stars. But you do not need a telescope. You only need the feeling of the sky above you. You only need the stillness. As night deepens, the desert changes. The colors of the stones fade. The horizon loses its edges. The land becomes a soft shadow. The sky becomes darker and darker until it is no longer simply black. It becomes deep, layered, alive with faint light. First, one star appears, then another, then a few more, and slowly, the sky fills. Stars gather in the darkness like quiet thoughts settling into place. They do not rush. They do not compete. They simply appear when the light of day is gone. And tonight, with the moon nearly new, the darkness has room to grow. There is less moonlight to wash the sky, less silver brightness across the desert floor. The night is allowed to become itself. Dark, still, full of stars. Look toward the southern sky from this desert. In the deep hours after midnight, the Milky Way begins to reveal its brighter heart. It does not look like a simple line. It looks like a pale river, a soft cloud of starlight, a path of mist made from suns too distant to separate with the eye. It rises quietly, as if the galaxy itself were breathing upward from the horizon. In this part of the world, under a dark enough sky, the Milky Way can feel almost solid, not something painted on the sky, but something you could fall into. A luminous road, a river of ancient light. And near its brightest region are the constellations of Scorpius and Sagittarius, watching over the center of our galaxy. The heart of the Milky Way lies far beyond them, hidden by distance, hidden by dust, hidden by layers of stars. But its presence can be felt in the brightness of the sky. A soft gathering, a thickening of light, a place where the galaxy seems to remember itself. Let your eyes rest there. You do not need to understand the distances. You do not need to imagine every star. Just feel how wide the universe is. Feel how gently it holds the desert. Feel how small the worries of the day become beneath that light. A thought that felt heavy this morning becomes a grain of dust. A worry that seemed large in the afternoon becomes a quiet shadow among the rocks. The desert does not argue with your thoughts. It simply gives them space. The sky does not ask you to explain yourself. It simply opens. A faint wind moves across the ground. It brushes the sand. It touches the stones. It passes and disappears. The wind does not carry urgency. It carries emptiness, a restful emptiness. The kind of emptiness that makes room for sleep. Let that wind move through your mind. Let it pass between your thoughts. Let it loosen the places where the day has gathered too tightly. There is time here. The desert has patience. The stars have patience. The galaxy has patience beyond anything we can imagine. Nothing in this sky is rushing. The light you see has traveled for years, for centuries, for thousands of years. Some of it began its journey before you were born. Some of it began before any living memory, and yet it arrives softly. Not with force, not with noise, just a quiet touch of brightness on the eye. You can let your own mind move at that pace now. Slowly, gently. There is no need to hurry toward sleep. You can simply allow it to come closer, like starlight crossing the dark, like the Milky Way rising over the desert. The ground is steady beneath you. The sky is calm above you. The air is cool around you, and your breathing is becoming slower. Rest here for a while, in the dry silence, under the moonless sky. Breathe in the cool desert night. Breathe out the day. And when you are ready, we will travel on, from one desert silence to another, from the pale stones of Chile to the red sands of Jordan. We leave the Atacama softly. No footsteps are needed, no bags to carry, no plans to make. We simply drift through the night, carried by imagination and starlight, across dark oceans, across sleeping countries, across the quiet curve of Earth. We arrive in Wadi Rum, in southern Jordan, a desert of red sand and towering stone, a place where the land seems to remember the footsteps of travelers, caravans, and ancient stories, a place where the silence is wide, different from the Atacama, warmer, in color, softer in shape, but just as peaceful under the night. Imagine the desert around you. The sand is deep, red by day, but now, beneath the stars, it has become a dark copper shadow. The cliffs rise like quiet guardians, tall sandstone walls, carved by wind and time. Their shapes are gentle in the darkness, not sharp, not threatening, only present, steady, ancient. The air is cool now. The heat of the day has slipped away. Calm breeze moves between the rocks. It carries the faint feeling of open land, a trace of dust, a trace of stone, a trace of night. Above you, the sky opens completely. There are no ceilings here, no heavy roofs, no bright city windows, just the open desert and the stars. Wadi Rum has the feeling of a place made for looking upward. By day, it is a world of stone, red sand, and sunlight. By night, it becomes a quiet observatory of the soul. The cliffs frame the sky like the edges of a great doorway, and through that doorway, the universe appears. Tonight is close to new moon. The moon is only a thin, fading presence. So the darkness over the desert is allowed to deepen. The stars are not fighting bright moonlight. They can appear more gently, more completely. The sky becomes a dark bowl, filled with tiny fires. Some stars are bright and steady, others are faint, barely visible, like thoughts at the edge of sleep. You do not need to count them. You do not need to name them. You can simply let them be. Look at the dark shape of a sandstone arch. Its curve rests against the sky. Through the opening, stars shine. The stone has been shaped by wind over long ages, grain by grain, year by year. Nothing here was made quickly. The desert teaches slowness. It teaches patience. It teaches the comfort of time. If the wind can shape stone slowly, then your breathing can shape this moment. Gently, one breath, then another, one small release, then another. The body does not need to sleep all at once. It can enter rest gradually, like evening entering the desert, like starlight, filling the sky. Wadi Rum also carries human memory. For generations, people have crossed deserts by reading the land and the heavens. Stars were not only beautiful, they were guides, companions, markers of direction. In places where the horizon looks the same in every direction, the sky can become a map, a calm map, a map written in light. Tonight, you do not need to use that map. You do not need to find your way across the sand. You do not need to search for the next camp or the next road. The journey has already brought you here. The only direction now is inward, toward quiet, toward sleep, toward the dark, soft place where thoughts become dreams. Above the desert, the Milky Way begins to feel like a road in the sky, a pale path crossing the night. It may remind you of ancient travelers, walking through darkness with only stars to guide them. But this road is not asking you to move. It is asking you to rest. It shows that even in the dark, there is direction. Even in silence, there is meaning. Even in stillness, There is a gentle movement. The stars rise, the earth turns, the night continues, and you can let yourself be carried with it. The cliffs of Wadi Rum stand quietly around you. They do not speak, but they have a kind of silence that feels like protection. A circle of stone, a shelter beneath the sky. Imagine resting on soft blankets on the desert floor. The sand beneath is cool. The air above is clear. The stars are bright, but not harsh. The whole desert seems to breathe with you, in and out, in and out. There is nothing to defend yourself from, nothing to answer, nothing to prove. The desert has no judgment. The stars have no judgment. They simply shine, and in their presence, you are allowed to soften. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to stop. Somewhere far away, the modern world continues. Messages wait, clocks move, lights stay on in cities. But here, beneath the Wadi Rum sky, those things are far away. They belong to another place, another time. They do not need you tonight. You have stepped outside the rushing world for a while. You have entered a slower world, a world of sand, stone, and stars, a world where the oldest things are also the quietest. Good night to the red sand, good night to the quiet stone, good night to the ancient paths through the desert, good night to the sky road of the Milky Way. Let Wadi Rum fade gently behind you now. We will follow the stars upward toward the figures that gather around the bright heart of the galaxy, toward Scorpius, toward Sagittarius, toward the old stories that rest in the summer sky. Now we lift our gaze, slowly, gently, from the desert floor to the starry sky, from red sand and silent cliffs to the shapes that ancient people saw in the darkness. Near the bright river of the Milky Way, two constellations stand close to the heart of the night, Scorpius and Sagittarius. One curved and powerful, one watchful and mysterious. They are part of the sky near the direction of our galaxy's center, and in many places they help frame the bright, crowded region of the Milky Way. Tonight, we do not need to study them sharply. We only let their shapes become part of the dream. Scorpius is one of the few constellations that looks a little like its name, a long curve of stars, tail, a hook, a bright red star near its heart. That star is Antares. Its warm reddish color can resemble a small ember in the dark, not angry, not fierce, just warm, a distant point of color resting low in the sky. Scorpius has many stories. In Greek myth, it is often connected with Orion, the hunter. The two figures are placed far apart in the sky, so that when one rises, the other is often gone. It is a celestial separation, a quiet balance, one story moving into the west, another rising in the east. The sky turns them gently, night after night, season after season. There is something peaceful in that distance. The universe does not keep every story in the same place. It gives each one its time, its own season, its own part of the night. You can let this remind you that not everything needs to be solved at once. Not every thought needs to stay in your mind. Tonight, some can rise, some can set, some can move beyond the horizon, and you can rest between them. Near Scorpius, the Milky Way becomes rich and bright. The sky there is full of star clouds and dark spaces. The darkness is not emptiness, it is dust, it is distance, it is the quiet structure of our galaxy, and beyond it all is the direction of the galactic center, a place hidden from our eyes by veils of cosmic dust. But hidden does not mean absent. Some of the most important things in the universe are not directly seen, they are felt by their
influence, their gravity, their shape, their
quiet pull. Sleep can be like that too. At first, it may not feel visible. You may not know exactly when it arrives, but gradually, it changes the weight of the body. It softens thought. It dims the edges of the room. It draws you inward. A gentle gravity, a quiet center. And then there is Sagittarius, often imagined as an archer, figure pointing toward the deep sky, but many stargazers also know a smaller shape within it, sometimes called the teapot. A simple, memorable pattern of stars. A little teapot in the night. And from the spout of this teapot, the steam seems to rise as the Milky Way itself. This image is gentle and easy to remember. A teapot beneath the galaxy. A quiet shape pouring starlight into the sky. It is not complicated. It is not demanding. It is almost familiar, almost comforting. A simple object, placed among the stars, like the universe, offering something warm before sleep. Imagine that now. A dark horizon. A simple pattern of stars. And above it, the pale steam of the Milky Way rising into the night. Not real steam, of course, but a soft illusion, a friendly way to see the sky, way for the mind to rest inside an image. The old sky watchers did this again and again. They turned stars into stories, into animals, into instruments, into travelers and hunters, into cups, rivers, birds, and ships. Not because the stars were truly those things, but because stories help the human mind feel at home in the dark. And tonight, we use stories in the same way, not to excite the mind, not to keep it awake, but to give it a soft place to land, a gentle image, a quiet shape, a path toward sleep. Scorpius curves near the Milky Way. Sagittarius points toward the hidden heart of the galaxy, and between them, the sky becomes dense with stars. It is a place of brightness and shadow, a place of ancient light, a place where countless suns gather so far away that they become a single glow. Let that glow become soft in your mind. Let the red ember of Antares become warm and distant. Let the teapot of Sagittarius pour the Milky Way slowly upward. Let the story be simple: a dark sky, a warm star, quiet archer, a river of light. Nothing here asks you to be alert. Nothing here asks you to remember. You can forget the names if you want. You can forget the shapes. You can let them dissolve into one calm image: the summer sky, the Milky Way, rising, the desert below, the body resting, the mind slowing. Rest beneath the sky that has room for every story, and when you are ready, we will drift deeper, past the constellations, past the patterns, into the Milky Way itself, into the river of stars, into the dark lanes and glowing clouds that make our galaxy feel like a dream. The constellations begin to soften, their shapes loosen in your mind. The scorpion becomes only a curve of light. The archer becomes only a quiet pattern. The teapot becomes a small, friendly memory. And now, we look beyond the shapes, beyond the stories, into the galaxy itself. The Milky Way is our home galaxy, a vast spiral of stars, gas, dust, and dark space. From inside it, we cannot see its full shape the way we might see a distant galaxy in a picture. We live within it. We look through it. We see its structure as a glowing band across the sky, a soft river of light made from countless stars too far away to separate with the unaided eye. In a dark place, near a moonless night, that river becomes easier to notice. It does not shout. It does not blaze like the sun. It appears slowly, a pale brightness, a mist of starlight, a bridge between horizons. Near the middle of May, with the moon fading toward new, the night can become dark enough for the Milky Way's brighter regions to stand out more clearly in places far from city lights. This is one reason tonight is a gentle time to imagine the galaxy. The moon is not filling the sky with too much brightness. The darkness has space, and in that space, the Milky Way can breathe. Think of the galaxy as a great city of stars, but not a city with streets and noise. A silent city. A city so large that light itself takes thousands of years to cross parts of it. A city where stars are born in cold clouds, where older stars drift quietly, where dust hides bright regions from view. where the center is full of mystery, gravity, and ancient motion. From Earth, the brightest central region lies in the direction of Sagittarius and Scorpius, but we cannot see straight into the very center with our eyes. Between us and that hidden heart are immense clouds of dust. These dust clouds create dark lanes across the Milky Way. They are sometimes called the Great Rift, a long shadowy division that cuts through the glowing band of the galaxy. When you look at the Milky Way under a dark sky, you may see not only light, but darkness inside the light. Dark rivers, dark islands, dark paths crossing the stars. Those shadows are not empty places. They are clouds of cosmic dust, blocking the light behind them. They are quiet curtains, soft veils, ancient material floating between the stars. In some of those dark clouds, new stars may eventually form. So the darkness is not simply absence. It is possibility. It is shelter. It is the beginning of future light. This is a peaceful thought. That darkness can be more than fear, more than emptiness. It can be a place where something new is resting, a place where light is not gone, only hidden, a place where the universe is quietly preparing. You can let your own darkness be like that tonight, not something to fight, not something to fill immediately, but a gentle space, a resting place, a place where the mind can stop making shapes and simply be still. The Milky Way teaches this softly. It shows light and shadow together, the bright star clouds, the dark dust lanes, the glowing river, the quiet rift. Both are part of the same galaxy. Both belong. Both make the sky beautiful. You do not need to be only bright tonight. You do not need to feel perfect. You do not need to hold yourself together with effort. Your tiredness belongs. Your quiet belongs. Your need for rest belongs. The galaxy holds both radiance and darkness, and the night can hold you the same way. Imagine floating now above the desert, not leaving your body, not going anywhere frightening, only drifting in the mind, floating upward through the cool night air, past the cliffs, past the horizon, past the last small sounds of Earth, into the soft river of the Milky Way. The stars around you are not sharp. They are gentle points, tiny lamps in a vast dark room. The dust lanes are soft shadows. They do not pull you down. They simply make the light deeper. The whole galaxy turns slowly, so slowly that you cannot feel it. But everything is moving. Stars orbit, gas drifts, dust gathers, light travels. And still, from your resting place, it all feels calm. The universe can move without being rushed. That is another lesson of the night. Movement does not always mean urgency. Change does not always mean stress. The stars are moving, and yet they seem peaceful. The galaxy is turning, and yet it feels still. Your breath is moving, and yet your body can rest. Your thoughts may pass, and yet your mind can become quiet. Let the Milky Way become a soft blanket above you, a blanket woven from stars. Let the Great Rift become a line of shadow in that blanket. Not a tear, not a wound, only a darker thread, a place where the pattern deepens. Let the hidden core of the galaxy be far away, so far that you do not need to reach it. You do not need to understand it. You only need to know it is there. A distant center, a quiet heart, holding the spiral together. There is nothing you need to do now. You have traveled across deserts. You have watched the sky open. You have followed old constellations toward the galaxy's heart. You have seen that darkness can be gentle, that shadow can be beautiful, that rest can arrive slowly. Let the river of stars move on without you. Let the dark dust lanes carry your last busy thoughts away. Let the hidden center of the galaxy remain hidden. Some mysteries do not need to be solved tonight. Some mysteries are more peaceful when left alone, and sleep is one of them. You do not need to make sleep happen. You only need to make room. A little darkness, a little quiet, a little trust, and the night will do the rest. The galaxy begins to fade into softness. The river of stars is still there, but you no longer need to look at it closely. The constellations are still there, but you no longer need to name them. The deserts are still there, but you no longer need to travel. The journey is becoming quiet. The voice is becoming distant. The night is becoming deep. You have stood under the moonless sky of the Atacama. You have rested among the red stones of Wadi Rum. You have looked toward Scorpius and Sagittarius. You have imagined the bright heart of the Milky Way, hidden behind soft lanes of dust. And now, there is nothing more to follow, nothing more to learn, nothing more to remember. Let the story dissolve. Let the names fade. Atacama, Wadi Rum. Scorpius, Sagittarius, Milky Way. Let them become gentle sounds, drifting away. Your body is heavy now. Your arms are heavy. Your legs are heavy. Your breathing is slow. Your eyes are resting. Your jaw is soft. Your thoughts are loosening. The room around you is safe. The night around you is calm. The universe around you is wide and patient. You do not need to hold the sky. The sky holds itself. You do not need to hold the day. The day is over. You do not need to hold tomorrow. Tomorrow can wait. For now, there is only this breath, this quiet, this soft descent into sleep. Imagine the moon, nearly new, resting unseen near the sun. Imagine the dark sky opening without it. Imagine the stars shining quietly over deserts, oceans, mountains, and sleeping cities. Somewhere, someone else is looking up. Somewhere, the Milky Way is rising. Somewhere, the night is deep and full of peace. And here, where you are, sleep is coming closer. Let it come, slowly, naturally, without effort. Like a shadow lengthening at sunset, like starlight appearing after twilight, like the galaxy rising into a moonless sky. There is no hurry. There is only rest. Let the darkness become soft. Let it wrap around. You not cold, not empty, but warm, gentle, and protective. A blanket woven from the night. A quiet space where nothing can disturb you. You are allowed to stop. You are allowed to sleep. You are allowed to let go. The stars will stay awake. The galaxy will keep turning. The desert winds will move gently through the dark, and you can rest beneath it. All deeper now, softer now. Every breath carries you lower. Every breath carries you farther from the waking world. There is only peace, only quiet, only the slow rhythm of your breathing. Let go of the last thought, let go of the last sound, let go of the last small effort. Sleep well under the stars. Good night.